Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. I hope you're well and dandy out there in Beatles land, YouTubers, members of the VC, and anybody that's just come across this channel. Everybody's welcome. This is going to be part 2 of the new mini series that we're doing on the history of rock, which was a monthly subscription thing that you could get in the UK by a company called Orbis Publishing, which ran from 1981 up until about 1984, and it consisted of 40 volumes of LPs. So the first part of the series, which we did about a week ago, went from volume 1 to volume 8. So this is going to be another 8. So this is going to be volume 9 to volume 16. I hope you have all been watching it and enjoying it. And you know, there's been some strange things happening on YouTube over the past few days. So I just hope, you know, this is going to bring a smile to people's faces. So, The History of Rock, Volume 9. This features Ike and Tina Turner, James Brown, the Monkees, and the Beach Boys. Again, really, really nice condition. It is a gatefold sleeve, as they all are. So you do get like a little biography of the artists, and then obviously there was magazines that came with it again, which we're not focusing on too much. It's more the records. So it's side 1 kicks off with "It's Gonna Work Out Fine" from 1961. This is Ike and Tina Turner. "A Fool in Love" from 1960. "River Deep Mountain High," and that is a live version from 1973. "The Hunter" 1969. "Nutbush City Limits" 1973, "Proud Mary" 1970, and "Come Together" from 1969. You know that they did do a version of the Beatles classic "Come Together." So side 2, James Brown, is "Please Please Please" from 1956. "Prisoner of Love" 1963. "Papa's Got a Brand New Bag" 1965. "I Got You" 1965. "Out of Sight" 1964. It's a Man's World" 1966. "Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud" 1968. "Sex Machine" 1970, and "Get Up, Get Off of That Thing" 1976. So, you know, some of these, I mean, Ike and Tina Turner, I didn't realise they'd been making records since 1960. Right, so side 3, or disc 2, side 1, is the Monkees. Can't beat a bit of Monkees, can you? "Last Train to Clarksville" 1966. "I'm a Believer" 1967. "A Little Bit Me, A Little Bit You" 1967. Alternative Title, or Randy Scarce Git as it was known in some countries, 1967. "Pleasant Valley Sunday" 1967. "Daydream Believer" 1967. "Valerie" from 1968. D.W. Washburn from 1969, and "Teardrop City" again from 1969. So side 4 is the Beach Boys. Again, I quite like the Beach Boys, and I know quite a few of my friends, you know, and subscribers and fellow YouTubers and Beatles channels and things like that, like the Beach Boys. So it starts off with "Surfing USA" 1963. "I Get Around" 1964. "Fun Fun Fun" 1964. "Don't Worry Baby" 1964. "Sloop John B" 1966. "Good Vibrations" 1966. "California Girls," fantastic song, 1965. "Here Today" 1966. "Wouldn't It Be Nice" 1966, and "Do It Again" from 1968. So if I do that, then if you want to freeze and zoom in, you can see all of those titles there. That is a good thing about this collection. You sometimes forget some of the songs that some of these artists had. I mean, the Monkees, fantastic band. Were they manufactured or not, I don't know. I can remember seeing a documentary a few years ago now, while they were all still alive, and Michael Nesmith says, how could they have gone on tour if they would have mimed? You know, he was playing that, they were all playing for real. I think it started off as like a bit like a made-up band, but they did become a band in their own right, didn't they? Wrote their own songs and played on all the songs and everything towards then. Again, the Beach Boys are a very, very fantastic band. The Beatles influenced the Beach Boys, then the Beach Boys influenced the Beatles, and it all went round in one great big circle, didn't it? James Brown, perhaps best known in the UK for Sex Machine and Get Up Off That Thing, probably. I Got You as well, a very famous song. Ike and Tina Turner were probably more famous in America than they ever were in the UK. I think the biggest hit that they ever had in the UK was Nightbush City Limits, but I could be wrong on that. So that is volume 9. Again, you do get the brief little biography. So I'll just put that. I should put it. Just put it there. So that's volume 9. Volume 10 is one of these where you get a whole album to one artist, and on this case it is the Rolling Stones. Again, this isn't an official like Rolling Stones album, like it's not a compilation that the Rolling Stones had already got out. I think it was specially made for this series. So there is your brief history of the Rolling Stones. In fact, I'll do that, and then if you wanted to zoom in, you could do, I suppose. Now, all the tracks on here, I think, feature Brian Jones. So side 1 kicks off with I Can't Get No Satisfaction. Brilliant start to opening album, isn't it? Then that's from 1965. Time Is On My Side from 1965. I'm a King Bee from 1964. You Better Move On from 1964. Down Home Girl from 1965. Long Long While from 1966. I Just Want to Make Love to You from 1964. And then Jumping Jack Flash from 1968. The reason I'm saying the dates at the end of it is because somebody did say on the first one, which I didn't notice when I did it, that I didn't say when the records were from or the songs were from. So that's why I'm saying when they're from, if that's okay. Side 2, you get Honky Tonk Woman, 1969. Get Your Kicks on Route 66, 1964. Under the Boardwalk, yeah, the old Drifter song, 1964. Sympathy for the Devil, 1968. Fantastic song. There's a brilliant like video of that from when they did the Rolling Stones Rock and Roll Circus film, and they all seem to be having the time of their lives performing that. Honest I Do, 1964. Heart of Stone, 1965. Walking the Dog, that's an old blues number, isn't it, from 1964. And then it finishes off with 19th Nervous Breakdown from 1966. So there is all the songs. I mean, most of these albums are in fantastic condition, to be honest. And as I've said before, for saying these are basically from a publishing company that was more famous for making magazines and books and things like that, the sound quality on these is absolutely amazing. I'm not quite sure who actually did made the records. It doesn't say. It just says published by Orbis Publishing Limited, 20 to 22, Bladfoundbury, London, WC2N 4BT. A compilation music collection for the history of rock. That's what it says at the bottom of there. Again, brilliant. It's worth getting this one just on its own, to be honest. If you can't afford to buy all these, in fact, I think most of these are quite hard to get now. Out of the collection, there was about 5 that I had to buy to complete the collection. I've got them all now, but some of the later ones, like when you're going into the 30s, like 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, were very, very expensive. Now we're on to volume 11. This is one where you've got 3 bands are featured on this. You've got John Mayall's Blues Breakers that take up a whole album. Then you've got the Small Faces, and then Them, Van Morris, and Them. So John Mayall's Blues Breakers is side 1. In fact, I tell a lie. This is a single album. So John Mayall's Blues Breakers is just on side one, and then side two is the Small Faces, and then them. So side one is John Mayall's Blues Breakers. So it's Crawling Up a Hill, 1971. Hideaway, 1967. Have You Heard, 1966. Preacher Man Farm, 1971. Stepping Out, 1966. The Supernatural, 1967. The Death of J.B. Lenore, 1967. And then it finishes off with I Know Now, 1968. Now, I've got to admit, I don't think I've ever played this one. I think I've played the Small Faces one, but I don't think I've ever played the John Mayall side. Very, very influential in the early British R&B scene. I think I'm right in saying Ginger Baker played for him at one time, so did Eric Clapton. So side two, we get Small Faces who've got to share half a side of an album, or they've got to share one side of an album with another band. So Small Faces, you get What You Gonna Do About It, 1965. Sha-la-la-la-lee, 1966. Hey Girl, 1966. Very, very underrated song. All or Nothing, again, fantastic song. The only UK number one the Small Faces had, I think. And then Small Faces' bit finishes off with My Mind's Eye from 1966. Again, a fantastic song. Now, no disrespect to John Mayall's Blues Breakers or to them, but don't you think the Small Faces deserve to have an album all of their own, or at least one side of an album? You might not agree. You might think the Small Faces were a load of crap. I don't know. Obviously, the Small Faces were very, very big in the UK and Europe. I'm not sure about the rest of the world. So then the album finishes off with a band called Them, which were from Ireland and featured Van Morrison as a vocalist. So you get Baby Please Don't Go, 1964. Excuse me. Here Comes the Night from 1965. Gloria from 1964. Mystic Eyes from 1965, and It's All Over Now, Baby Blue from 1966. Well, It's All Over Now, Baby Blue is actually a Bob Dylan song. So that is the track listing. And that is the inside. This is one that was stuck together. It's still not too bad a condition. I won't bother showing you the labels because we went through some of the labels on the first lot, and to be honest, they're all the same sort of label on every one of them. So that's the strange thing about this, isn't it? Some of the albums were double albums and some were single albums. Some were just credited to like a whole album for one artist, and then others were credited to more than one artist. Now we get on to volume 12. So who's on this one? We get B.B. King, the Yardbirds, Alexis Corner, and Fleetwood Mac. Again, you'd have thought Fleetwood Mac would probably deserve at least one side of an album more to the souls, but I don't know. That's just my opinion. Right, so we kick off with B.B. King on side one. Paying the Cost to Be the Boss, 1968. Don't Answer the Door, 1966. Get Off My Back Woman, 1969. The Thrill Is Gone, 1969. Hummingbird, 1970. And To Know You Is to Love You, 1973. Can't say I really recognise any of those songs, to be honest. Maybe B.B. King was bigger in America, North America, and places like that. He did have some big hits, but I think they were more like in the 70s in the UK, but I could be wrong. So side two, we've got the Yardbirds. For Your Love, fantastic song. Good Morning Little School. Oh, sorry. For Your Love, 1965. Good Morning Little Schoolgirl, 1964. I Wish You Would, 1964. Heartful of Soul, 1965. Again, fantastic song. Evil Hearted You, 1965. Still I'm Sad, 1965. Shape of Things, again, another fantastic song. That's from 1966. And Jeff's Blues from 1966. The Yardbirds, you think of the lineup they had. I mean, they had Eric Clapton in them. They had Jeff Beck, and then they had Jimmy Page, didn't they? So side 3 is Alexis Corner. So what we've got here. Built for Comfort, 1962. Hoochie Coochie Men, 1962. I Got My Mojo Working, 1962. Finkel's Calf, 1962. The Rain Is Such a Lonesome Sound, 1962. Nighttime Is the Right Time, 1962. Sail On, 1960. And then I Ain't Gonna Worry No More from 1960. Then we've got Fleetwood Mac. The Fleetwood Mac on here is the original Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac, from what I can make out. So it's not, the Fleetwood Mac of Rumours and things like that. This is like the original sort of like R&B. I mean, all of these would be classed as R&B, rhythm and blues. So side 4, Need Your Love So Bad, 1968. Again, that is a fantastic song. Black Magic Woman, 1968. Fantastic song. Albatross, masterpiece, 1968. Shake Your Moneymaker, 1968. Love That Burns, 1968. Dust My Room, 1968. And Stop Messing Around from 1968. So again, that is all the track list in there. If you want to freeze and then zoom in. One of the best songs Fleetwood Mac made during this period, in my opinion, is a song called Man of the World. Fantastic song. And again, you get all your little bios. It's interesting, isn't it? Because some of these artists, you forget how long the careers were or how short the careers were. You even forget sometimes some of the songs, don't you? Volume 13. This is a good one. So we've got the Mummers and the Poppers, or the Mamas and the Poppers, the Loving Spoonful, the Steve Miller Band, and the Byrds. So side 1 kicks off with California Dreamin' by the Mamas and the Poppers from 1966. Great song. Monday Monday, again, 1966. Words of Love from 1966. I Saw Her Again Last Night from 1966. Dream a Little Dream of Me from 1968. That is a fantastic song, isn't it? Dedicated to the One I Love from 1966. It's Getting Better, 1969. Well, that was actually a Mama Cass solo record, wasn't it, I think? And then Riku Ali, 1967. So then we get the Loving Spoonful. Do You Believe in Magic from 1965. Do You Ever Have to Wake Up Your Mind from 1965. You Don't Have to Be So Nice from 1966. Daydream, what a day for a daydream. 1966, fantastic song. Young Girl from 1965. Summit in the City, that's a fantastic song. I love that song, from 1966. Darling Be Home Soon from 1967. Nashville Cats from 1966. And Rain on the Roof from 1966. Now, the Loving Spoonful, I know that the odd hit in the UK, but I don't think it was ever really as famous as what they were in other parts of the world, if that makes sense. Then we've got the Steve Miller Band on side 3. Living in the USA, 1968. Gangster of Love, 1968. Space Cowboy, 1969. Going to the Country, 1970. The Joker from 1973. And Your Cash Ain't Nothing But Trash from 1973. I think Steve Miller Band in the UK, that was their biggest hit, wasn't it? The Joker. And I think that was hit in the 80s, wasn't it? And then side 4 is the Byrds. Hey Mr. Tambourine Man, 1965. All I Really Want to Do, 1965. Turn, 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 1965. 8 Miles High, classic song that one is, 1965. Fifth Dimension, 1966. My Back Pages, 1966. So You Won't, So You Want, sorry, So You Want to Be a Rock and Roll Star, 1970. So that's a bit dark in here. And then Chestnut Marie, 1970. So that is all the songs. If you ever see any of these albums, by the way, and they're not going to cost you, loads and loads of money, they are worth getting. And you never know, you might be lucky enough to get the whole collection. Now we've got volume 14. Basically, this is the best of Motown by the looks of it. You've got the Four Tops, Diana Ross and the Supremes, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, and Stevie Wonder. I'll do that bit first so you can see. Right, so this LP kicks off on side one with the Four Tops. I Can't Help Myself from 1965. Brilliant song that always reminds me of my cousin. It's the same old song again from 1965. I can remember dancing to that many, many years ago in a nightclub in Nottingham called the Pally. That's how old I am, yeah. Reach Out, I'll Be There from 1966. Again, fantastic song. Bringing back lots of memories, these are, and they're all good memories, to be honest. Standing in the Shadow of Love, 1966. Bernadette, 1967. Walk Away Renee, 1967. It's All in the Game, 1970. And Simple Game from 1971. Some fantastic songs there, aren't they? Especially if you're into Motown and stuff like that. Side 2 is Diana Ross and the Supremes. Where Did Our Love Go? 1964. Baby Love, 1964. Stop in the Name of Love, 1965. Back in My Arms Again, 1965. You Can't Hurry Love, 1966. Reflections, 1967. Love Child, 1968. What a fantastic song that is. Someday We'll Be Together, 1969. Again, some fantastic songs there, aren't they? This is one of the best ones so far, isn't it? Especially if you like Motown. So side 3 is Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. Shop Around, 1960. You Really Got a Hold on Me from 1962. Well, obviously, the Beatles did a version of that on their With the Beatles album in the UK, and they even did a version of it while they were recording Get Back Stroke Let It Be, didn't they? And their version's actually quite good, the Beatles. Ooh Baby Baby, 1965. The Tracks of Your Tears, 1965. Going to a Go-Go, 1965. Come Round Here, I'm the One You Need, from 1966. I Second That Emotion, from 1967. And then Tears of a Clown from 1967. Again, some fantastic songs there, aren't they? You forget how many hits some of these bands had, don't you? Then we've got Stevie Wonder on side 4. Fingertips, Part 2, 1963. Hey Harmonica Man. Sorry. It is the light in here, honestly. Hey Harmonica Man, 1964. Uptight, Everything's Alright from 1965. Nothing's Too Good for My Baby, 1966. I Was Made to Love Her, 1967. Again, fantastic song. For Once in My Life from 1968. Again, classic, isn't it, really? My Sherry Amore from 1969. Signed, Sealed, Delivered, I'm Yours from 1970. Track listing, yeah. Again, the sound quality on all of these albums is absolutely amazing. Even if Beatle Dave is cocking up because it is a bit dark in here and you can't see right. So this is volume 15 now. So you've got Santana, Janis Joplin, Stephen Wolf, and the Velvet Underground. So there's a bit of a mixture on this one, isn't there? Do that first. So Santana, side 1, Black Magic Woman, 1970. And that was actually the same song as Fleetwood Mac did as well, although a different version of it, obviously, Then you've got Jingo Low-Bar, 1969. Evil Ways, 1969. Hey Come Ya, 1970. I think that's how I pronounce that. And then She's Not There, 1977. Well, She's Not There was originally done by the Zombies, wasn't it? Janis Joplin is side 2. Cosmic Blues, 1969. One Good Man, 1969. Mercedes Benz, 1971. Move Over, 1971. Catch Me Daddy, 1982. And Piece of My Heart, 1972. Again, some really, really nice songs there. Side 3 is Steppenwolf. Born to Be Wild, fantastic song. It's been used on many a TV commercial and in films, and even Slade did a version of that on their first album, didn't they? Yeah, that's from 1968. Then you've got The Pusher from 1968. Magic Carpet Ride, again, brilliant song from 1968. Rock Me, 1969, and then Hey Loudy Mama from 1970. Then we get the Velvet Underground. Venus in Furs, absolutely amazing song. Happy, happy, shiny, shining, happy, happy. I used to sing that song for years and years and years and didn't actually know what it was called. I thought it was actually called Shiny, 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 Happy, Happy. That's from 1967. You got Heroin from 1967. White Light, White Heat from 1969. Well, David Bowie did a couple of versions of that, didn't he, during his career? I'm Waiting for the Man. Again, David Bowie did do a version of that. That's from 1969. And then Candy Says from 1969. Fantastic, brilliant. Okay. So there's some really, really nice songs on that as well, isn't there? It's like a little time machine, this, isn't it, going through all these? Volume 16 is, if you like your psychedelic rock or your heavy rock, this is sort of where it all started out, power pop rock or whatever you want to call it. So you got Jimi Hendrix and Cream on this, and they get one record each. And of course, they were both trios originally, weren't they? So the side one is Jimi Hendrix Experience, Hey Joe from 1966. Fantastic song. Although he didn't actually write that, a lot of people do think he did write it, but it's a brilliant song, brilliant version of it. You know, seen many, many videos of Jimi Hendrix and the Experience playing that. I think it's one that he really likes. I think he got fed up playing it near the end of his career, but yeah. Voodoo Child from 1968. Foxy Lady from 1967. May This Be Love from 1967. Purple Haze from 1967. Well, that's just by the start of that, everybody knows what that song is, don't they? The Wind Cries Mary from 1967. Side 2 is All Along the Watchtower. Again, that was written by Bob Dylan. Boulder's Love, 1967. Little Wing from 1971. The Burning of the Midnight Lamp from 1968. Message to Love, 1970. And Johnny Be Good. And that is the Chuck Berry song. So side 3, we've got Cream, Eric Clapton, Jack Bruce and Ginger Baker. So we've got Spoonful from 1966. Tales of Brave Ulysses, 1967. Strange Brew, fantastic song, 1967. I Feel Free from 1966. A little side note, David Bowie reunited with Mick Ronson to record a live version of that for one of David Bowie's albums, and at the minute I can't remember what album it was. For Until Late, 1966. I'm So Glad, 1966, and Passing the Time from 1968. Side 4 is Sunshine of Your Love from 1967. Then we've got Badge, which was actually co-written by George Harrison and Eric Clapton. Crossroads from 1968. Badge is from 1969, by the way. White Room from 1968. Those Were the Days from 1968, which is not the Mary Hopkins song, by the way. And then What a Bring Down from 1969. Again, some fantastic songs. by two fantastic bands in their own right. I think Jimi Hendrix could start playing a song and then he'd go off somewhere for like 10 minutes playing all different things, then he'd still come back to the same song, wouldn't he? So that is the track listing on there if you want to freeze it and then zoom in. So that is part 2 of our new mini series, The History of Rock, and that is volumes 9 to 16. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Like I say, it's a bit like going down memory lane for me on some of these. I mean, some of these songs, I'd completely forgotten about, to be honest. Others are as fresh as a daisy, as we say. Um, I think as a collection so far, I think these must have sold quite well when they came out. But I think as it went on and on and on, I think people got fed up of waiting. Hence why the later ones are worth a little bit of money. They're all worth finding. If you can ever find these and you can get them for under a tenner a piece, I would say if you get them, as long as they're in nice condition, I think you'd be quite happy with them. And that two of the biggest bands of the '60s on one album. Okay, it is a double album, but you know what I'm saying. So that's going to be it. Whatever you're doing, please stay safe. If you've liked the video, please do me a favour and just leave me a thumbs up. That's all that I ask. If you want to leave any comments on any of these albums or any of the songs, or if you ever had this collection, what did you think of it? What do you think about the sound quality? There will be a couple more episodes of this, but seeing as it's a rainy, horrible day in the UK at the minute, I thought I'd do this one today. So that is part 2 of the history of rock completed now. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Once again, peace and love to you all. Remember, you are the beat of Beatle Dave. Without you, this channel wouldn't be anywhere near as successful as it is. And I love you all, and peace and love to you all till the next time. So as my mate Beatle Brad says, I'm out of here.